Good evening all. In, on and gone video number 29. Yeah, my name's James Smith. I run this channel and this is sort of like my weekly roundup of everything that goes on in my shop. Okay, you can see behind me some of the stock. All right, I'm in the shed on a Friday night, you know, beaming to the rest of the world. And it is the rest of the world, actually. You know, I'm based in the UK. You can probably tell from my accent that I'm English, living in South Wales. And yeah, it's interesting looking at the analytics of the videos, and I think 50% is UK based, but the other 50% is going all around the world. So hello world, all right, coming from my shed, which is actually quite mental when you think about it. But hey, this is the world we live in now. The global village is getting even smaller. It'll be a global hamlet soon. Anyway, yeah, you've probably noticed as well that I've changed the title, all right? Over the past 28 weeks, I've just been putting in, on and gone video number, blah, blah, blah. eBay reseller gives his thoughts on this, that, and the other. But I encourage messaging, okay? And I look at all the messages. And somebody runs a channel called Video Hero. I'll put a shout out to them because the advice given, they're probably right with what they're saying. So there is a link to Video Hero underneath. You know, I think it's somebody who looks like they've just started up a channel and, you know, giving advice on YouTube videos. And what they basically typed was, look, your content is good. I think, you know, people are going to learn from it, which is what I want, but it says your titles are crap. And he's right. He says your titles have got to have a bit of punch to them. Your titles have got to have a bit of, you know, je ne sais quoi, actually to get people's attention, not in, on and gone video number and then do the same each week. So yeah, I took his advice. He is right. So I've taken his advice and I've used one of the products that I am covering this week, and I'll do that product first. It's a lovely pair of Joules boots, Joules Chelsea Boots. We'll talk about those in a minute. But as I said, in, on and gone. So I talk about in these videos what is coming into the shop, what is on the shop, and what has gone from the shop. On is easy. I've got the link below. Okay, have a look at the link below. In, we'll do at the end of the video. The gone, I always start with the gone because I talk about stuff that has sold within the past 7 days, promoted at 2%. So really, this is stuff that sells quickly. This is the stuff that people are looking for at this time of year. And I've also added a feature where I talk about some other sales that I've made that took longer than 7 days. All right, so sales with a little bit about them. This week, I'm going to talk about one that I would certainly do again and is definitely something to look out for. Whereas the other one, yeah, okay, I made a profit, but it did take 300 days. And I don't think I'll be storing the shed with anything like this again. Okay, so without any further ado, I'll talk to you about the Joules boots first. Okay, so let's rock on. These boots had a lot going for them. And if you had a tick list for shoes like this, then basically it did tick quite a lot of them. Number one, recognizable brand, Joules. Okay, it is a recognizable brand and quite a successful recent brand as well. Number two, in fantastic condition. Okay, in fact, they hadn't been worn. All right. There was no marks on the soles at all, so I could list them as never worn because it was quite obvious from the photographs that they had just not been worn. Okay, number three, stylish. Chelsea boots are in. They're a popular product, so really this had good profits written all over it, and I was expecting it to go quite quickly as well. Now I did source it for a good price as well. I sourced these for £7. Okay, I can remember I had an armful of products, so I had to go and quickly put those in the cart and then go back to the shop and get it, but luckily it was still there. So yeah, £7 I paid for them. Again, you know, you might actually be thinking to yourself, because at the end I got 185% on these, but you might be thinking to yourself that maybe I could have got some more. Yeah, I could have done. but it would have meant keeping them in the shop for longer. And I don't do that. All right, it's against my philosophy, it's against my principles of running this store. Okay, so I had them £7 and took an offer at £24 with £3.60 postage on top, gave me a total back on £27.60. That's the offer that I accepted. Yeah, I could have gone above 30 on them, I think, if I would have kept them for a bit longer, considering they were in such good condition. But to me, you know, £27.60, £19.93 back on them after fees. Okay, and after the cost of the boots is taken off as well, that gave me £12.93 profit, which is 185%. I'm not going to turn that down. Okay, I'm not. That is a decent. I'm going to find other shoes like it as well. All right, it's not just like one pair and I've got to sell it at totally and utterly the top product. Okay, and the top price. Okay, that's a good price that I got for them. Okay, it was a price that I was happy with. 185% within a week is a good markup. So yeah, I was happy with those. So that is the basis of the title for this video. Okay, but that's not just it. There's other things as well. I have got for you this week another 4 things, okay, that sold within the week, okay, within the 7 days. As I said, those of you that watch my videos, I normally list between 25 and 30. So you know, I try. My holy grail for the week is 10 things. That's my holy grail. This week it's 5, and I've already told you one of them. So let's crack on with the other 4, because it's not just the Joules boots that have made a decent amount of profit. A couple of weeks ago, I had coming into the store a nice Craghoppers Aqua Dry jacket. It was a nice khaki jacket, and the is it the hydrostatic rating on it was 15,000. What that basically means is if you put your arm out, you can have a column 15,000 millimeters high before it will start to seep through the jacket. Now, this is sort of like a mid-level waterproofing. There are some at 20 to 25,000 as well. Because I've got this, I did my research a little bit, and I'm passing that research on to you. So whenever you see a waterproof jacket, look for it's normally on the sleeve down by the wrist, in this sort of area of the jacket here. Okay, look for a number, and if it's 15,000 or above, it's a decent jacket. Okay, but this one was at 15,000. I sourced it for a tenner, and including postage, I sold it at £18.60. Okay, that gave me £15.35 back, which was in the end £5.35 profit, which is 53%. So really, you're looking there, 50% is round about the lowest that I would go, but somebody had come in with an offer, okay, and I can just get the jacket gone quickly, 53% within a week. Okay, if you offered any investor 53% in a week, most would take that. Surely. I'm not an investor, so I don't really know. You know, if you're an investor, get in contact. Would you take 53% in a week? Don't know. Next product. Next up, need I say it, Under Armour. What a strong brand Under Armour is, especially for t-shirts and bottoms as well. It's not so much with trainers. I would say the footwear, Under Armour isn't as dominant, but the t-shirts and the trousers, it flies. It really, really flies. And I like doing this one because it was a repeat buyer, so somebody that has come back to the store and they bought a few things. So I was able to combine postage and take some decent offers as well because I could combine the postage. It makes a huge difference when you can combine postage. Also now, as you know, eBay are not charging any fees on second-hand clothing, so that gives a little bit more ka-ching coming to me as well, which is always nice. That's going to, I think that might hit a bit hard on the 31st of December when this free trial ends. But yeah, it was 2 things that I sold Under Armour wise. One was a nice golf polo with sort of like a navy and pink sort of like decal on it. That was a large blue one. Sourced that for £4.17. No, sorry, sourced that for £5. All right, and took an offer of £10.10 on it, including postage. But because I could combine the postage was a bit lower on this. All right, so after all postage and fees taken off, that gives me £8.45, £3.45 profit, which is 69%. So 69% on a polo shirt that you got for a fiver isn't bad. Okay, and the combination was also with just a loose blue t-shirt. Okay, the Under Armour tees, just the basic tees with just the Under Armour logo there, they go really well if you can source them at a decent price. I sourced this one at £4.17 and I sold it, including the postage, £9.60. Okay, take all the postage and fees off, you got £7.70, which leaves £3.53, which is 85%. So both of those things were between the 50 and 100%, which I was pleased with. It generates eyes back to your shop. I've said it before. If you're new to this channel, if this is the first time you've seen a video, one of the things that I champion is selling. If you want to get into reselling, if you want to get into selling secondhand clothing, yeah, you've got the big products that you can find that sell for quite a lot of profit, but you won't find those all the time. It's these little ones, it's these ones that give you between 50 and 100% profit are the ones that are going to generate the eyes to your shop, the ones that are going to generate your profit slowly over time. These are the keys to a successful eBay reselling store. It's products like this, these Under Armour t-shirts. And if you can source them for a fiver or under, you are probably going to make something. Okay, one thing that I always check as well is that the labels are in good condition. All right, if they're a little bit scratched off or anything like that, nah, I leave them. Okay, you've got to be a bit brutal in your selections as well. Lovely. Okay, so we mentioned the Joules boots, we've mentioned the Cragobber jacket, we've mentioned the two Under Armours. That's for the fifth product. Hobbies, 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 hobbies sell. I say it in so many videos. Golf, walking, any sort of hobby that people do in their spare time, any sort of like clothing products associated with these hobbies sell, and sell really well if they're in good condition. This was no exception. It was a nice Adidas Climber Warm quarter-zip golf jumper. Looked really good. Nice decal on the top breast as well. Okay, just on the shoulder. Blue, nice colour, large, decent size. Had a lot going for it. I paid £5.20 for it. I think this is a vintage flip that I did, and got back £13.60. That gave me £10.35 after postage, and after the £5.20 taken off, gave me £5.15 profit, which is round about 99%. Not quite 100%, but 99%. So again, well into the 50 to 100%, which really is the sort of markup that I'm looking for. Okay, so I was pleased with that as well. So all in all, for those five things, £31.37 spent on them. I got back initially £79.50, but then after postage and fees taking off, I was left with a profit of £30.41, which is just over 100% markup. Okay, great, really pleased with that. So yeah, that's where we are at the moment. So yeah, I mentioned those Joules boots in the title because that was my highest markup from the products that I've just talked about. Okay, remember, these are the things that are sold within a week. These are the things that sell quickly, but they're not the only things that I sell. I do sell as well a lot of stuff that takes more than a week to go, as you could probably see. All right, but let's look at some of those things as well now. As I keep saying, I want these videos to be educational. I want to tell you everything that I have learned about reselling over the course of releasing these videos. Now, the first thing I'm going to talk about from sales this week that took longer than a week, these took 125 days to sell. So what's that? That's about 4 months. Okay, just over 4 months. And they were a pair of Marks and Spencer's Lanificio. I don't know if I said that right, but they were basically Italian-made wool trousers. All right, like suit trousers. They were navy blue, 40 waist, 31 leg. So again, a decent size. Average, I don't know what the average waist size is in the UK. I know that I'm 36, so there's plenty of people that have got bigger waists than me. There's plenty of people that have got smaller waists than me. So a 40-inch waist is a waist size that will sell. 31-inch leg, that's a decent leg size as well. What you've got to remember with this is I sourced these trousers at £4. Okay, in Marks and Spencer's themselves, these trousers would be probably about 50 to 60 pounds. So there's a huge window to play with there. All right, now these were in good condition. That's what you got to check. That you can't have rips or tears in things like this because nobody's going to touch them otherwise. They've got to be in good condition, and they were. They were in really good condition. So, you know, if you put them on at about between 50 and 20 quid, you're probably going to make the sale. And that's exactly what happened. All right. Yes, it took 125 days, but 4 months, that's not too bad. All right. That's pretty much average. I think my average time for things to stay in this shop is about 6 to 8 weeks. So it was just over that. But hey, I'm not really, it doesn't cost me anything to store anymore. And that's part of the beauty of getting an eBay shop subscription. Okay, it's round about £32.50 that I pay for 250 listings each month. At the moment, my shop is round about 225 products. So I am coming close to those 250 listings. I think I've mentioned before that what I'm going to do is some of the things that have been on my shop for a long time, I'm just going to put on auction for like 99p and see what happens to them. Those things that have been on for the longest, that's what's going to happen to them over the next few weeks. But these trousers, they sold and they sold. I got £15.60 back on them. Okay, so I bought them for £4, sold them for £15.60. After fees, postage and everything, that gave me £12.35 back. Take off the £4, that gives me £8.35 profit, which is 208%. Lovely. Really, really nice. The decent Marks and Spencer's trousers sell, like the 100% wool, the upper echelons of your Marks and Spencer trouser do sell. It's the Colazione range as well. You've got to have a look at your market, the people that actually look at eBay. And it's not just the youngsters wanting fast fashion. It's also older people as well wanting a bargain. And if they can see a pair of Marks and Spencer's, which is a very, very trusted brand when it comes to trousers that you can wear for work. I mean, my philosophy here is, who wants to spend a lot of money on clothes that you wear for work? I know I certainly don't. So if somebody does see a pair of these trousers on at a price like this and this quality, they're going to be interested. All right, so these went and they went well. The other one I'm going to talk to you about, and this one took 330 days to sell, so it has been hanging around here for a bit, but it was a punt that I had. It was a whiskey bottle, and it was one that cost me £3. It was one from the early 1900s, a Walker's Kilmarnock whiskey bottle. And in the end, I took an offer of £15.40, including the postage. So that's £9.54 back after fees, because this one did have fees because it wasn't clothing. And it gave me £6.54 profit at the end of the day, which is 218% markup. So yeah, a punt that worked, like a vintage antique bottle. Would I do it again? Probably not. It took too long to sell. Okay, so there's one thing there that I would do, the Marks and Spencer's trousers. I would certainly do them again. In fact, today I've picked up a pair of Marks and Spencer's pure new wool sartorial trousers, with a blue with a pinstripe in them. They look absolutely mint. They look lovely. I picked those up today. Would I pick up another whiskey bottle from the 1900s? Probably not. But anyway, it's sold and I got a bit of profit on it. So anything that sells is good stuff. Okay then, so what's dropping into the shop this weekend? What have we got? What have we got coming in? Well, the first thing that we've got coming in, and these cost me £5, but I've already sold a pair of these this year and they sold quite well. They are some Canterbury of New Zealand, sort of like they're jogging bottoms, but they're jogging bottoms with a difference. The first thing is that they're lined. They're lined all the way through the jogging bottom. The second thing is, and I'll show you this, these are black by the way, extra large in size. The second thing is, if you actually look at this, you can zip them the whole length of the leg. Okay, so they are fully zippable. If you have a look, let's see if I can actually show you. All right, so there's the top of the trouser, and as we move down the trouser, it actually zips out into what looks like a beach towel stitched together. But yeah, as I said, I picked these up for £5 and I've already sold a pair of these. Now the ones that I sold before were small and they went for about 20 quid. All right, so these are extra large. So these are far more of a rugby size, Canterbury being a rugby brand, but I have seen quite a few people wearing these around because they are quite nice, quite snug, quite warm. Very good for these cold winter months. So as I said, I picked these up for £5. Probably going to put them on for around about 20 quid. See if I can repeat the success of the last pair of trousers that I had. I have also got, and this has got a bit of a Christmas jumper feel about it, okay, one like this. Okay, this is, it's not a wool jumper, okay, but what it is, it's an extra large fat face jumper there, and this is sort of like the Nordic style jumper, isn't it? But it's in lovely condition. I picked this one up for 6 quid, but again, you know, you look at it and you do think, yeah, I reckon that'll make more than 6 quid. I reckon these, especially the time of year, I'll be putting this one on for about 15. Few electricals next up. Got this. It is a Sony car stereo and it's got the plugs on the back there. I've put a car stereo into a van that I used to own, so I do know that these are quite important. These sort of like plug into like a conversion lead which then plugs into the car. All right, but this one, it's got a CD player on it. It's got also something that's quite important, it's got an AUX input as well, an auxiliary input, and the front face is detachable, so it's got a lot going for it. It's also got the sleeve that you would put this into the slot in the car, and then this slots into this sleeve. So I've got a little bit with it as well. I paid a tenner for it. I've seen them on for about 20 to 25, so I'm not going to make a huge amount on this, but I reckon I will make something. As I say, it's a bit of a punt because I haven't really sold car stereos before, but I want to see how it does. I want to look at how many people look at it, see if it sells quickly, see if I've got to drop the price, see if it's going to take a bit of time to shift, see if it even shifts at all. I just don't know. But you've got to take the punts to get to know what sells and what doesn't sell. So this one will go on there. It is a Sony CDX GT26. That is the number for it. And next, okay, so I paid a tenner for that. I also paid a tenner for this, and I'm a bit more confident about this. Okay, this is a Dell docking station. All right, now there's quite a few leads coming out of this, but they do all mean something. It does require a power lead. All right, and also it has got, so you've got the power lead going in the back there, okay, but you've also got coming out of it a C-type USB lead, okay, and this plugs into the computer. All right, and then what you've got then is you have got this box which you can plug a whole load of external things into. It's got ISDN cables, it's got SCART, it's got HDMI, it's got USBs, it's got the lot. All right, now what are these used for? I've got one myself, the MacBook Air. All right, the MacBook Air is a very good laptop created by Apple, but it's got very few external ports on it. There's only 2 C-type external ports on it, and what you do is you plug one of these using this into it, and then like your second screens, your USB dongles and everything can go into this, okay, which is then an input into the computer or an output. It can be both. They are in demand. I know these are in demand. I paid a tenner for this, and I've seen these online for between 25 and 30. So again, there is a little bit of markup there. I'm quite pleased with picking up this. I reckon there's a 100% profit there. I reckon I'll make a tenner from it. I'm going to put it on at about 25 and see how it does. Okay, so there's 2 electricals there as well that I'm putting on this week. This next one is a product to look out for and also a brand name to look out for. Okay, the brand name is Reese. Okay, these sell quickly, and you might have seen that more and more shops are springing up on the high street with this name on it. They market themselves as sort of like a premium brand, but did you know that they're owned by Next? That's something that I found out. Now, I did say product. These are sort of like a pair of pastel coloured trousers. Really nice, really nice. No stains, rips or tears on it. That would be the first thing that I would check for when looking at something like this. But they're a pair of trousers in absolutely cracking condition. Yes, I know it's the middle of winter. These do have summer written all over them, but they still sell at this time of year, especially in a run up to Christmas. The size on these as well is a good one. It's a 34 inch, and I think they're about a 32 leg. I'm gonna have to measure them. You know, they're so posh, they don't even give the leg measurement. They just say, wait, look at this. Okay, it just says waist 34 inch. It says nothing about the leg length. All right, I've got to find that out, and just by looking at it, I reckon it's either a 32 or a 34 inch leg, so a medium to long inch leg. I will measure it for when I put it onto my store. That's the Reese trousers done. I didn't tell you how much they cost, did I? They were £7.50. So that is the top end of what I would normally pay, but I'm going to put them on for between 15 and 20. I'll probably put them on for around about the £17 mark. So I reckon there's a markup there. Not a huge markup, but again, it gets stuff like this, gets the eyes coming to your shop, which is what you want. Next up, it could be a hobby, it could be a little bit of fashion, just don't know. But I managed to pick up this Denver Nuggets basketball top. Okay, and the shorts came with it as well. So the top and the shorts were £7.50. Now, the big name for Denver Nuggets is Allen Iverson, okay, who wears a number 3. Now, this is a medium size. It is NBA branded, the National Basketball Association. So I don't know the sportswear manufacturer who actually makes the Denver Nuggets kit. I mean, guessing it would either be Nike, Adidas or Under Armour, the 3 main ones. But this would be like, there's NBA stuff all over America, and there's NBA stores in most American cities. So I've sold NBA stuff before, and it does sell. You've also got, is it down? Where is it? It is here. Look, you've got the big, at the bottom of the vest, you've got like the big ticket saying NBA medium, USA basketball, etc., etc. As I said, I also got the shorts with it as well. There we go. Denver Nuggets branded shorts. Has it got the NBA branding on it? No, it hasn't. But these would be an NBA store. Okay, size there. And it says in the UK a medium as well. Okay, sometimes American sizes and UK sizes are different. You've got to check the labels on each one as to know which is which. Okay, because some American things that are labelled as large would really be medium in the UK, but in this instance it's labelled as medium for both countries. I'll put the measurements on the shorts. All right, but basketball fashion, I mean, in terms of somebody that plays a lot of basketball, this will be a decent pair of shorts for them. I don't think they've been worn, to be honest with you. They're in cracking condition, as is the vest, the Denver Nuggets vest. Now, I did say there could be a fashion implementation to this because, you know, this stuff isn't just worn by basketball players, it's also worn out on the street as well. I don't want to say street fashion. It sounds like I know what I'm talking about. And to be quite honest with you, I'm not really. Okay, so, but I have seen people wearing vests like this out on the street as well. So those two things cost me £7.50. Probably going to put the vest on for about between 10 and 12. The shorts on for between 5 and 7. So there is a bit of a markup there. Okay, I've got two jumpers now, which are basically from a material to be on the lookout for, and that material is wool. Okay, now with wool, when you actually source your things, you've got to check that they've still got their shape. Okay, some of the wool stuff, I mean, I don't need to be an expert to tell you that wool doesn't particularly wash very well. You've got to be careful when you wash it, and sometimes some of the wool stuff that comes into the shops that I go into to pick stuff up from isn't really in the best condition. It has lost its shape because people haven't washed them properly. Okay, however, the things that I bought here are in very, very good condition. This is an absolute cracker. This is a Marks and Spencer's lamb's wool, but it's got the St. Michael logo on it, and they dropped this in the early 2000s, so this is quite vintage, but it is in superb condition. Absolutely superb. It's hardly been worn. This is also, it's an XL, and I think in the 2000s Marks and Spencer's did try and enter into the golf market, the golf clothing market. They don't really do that now, but this is a lamb's wool jumper that has been lined as well. So really, these jumpers, it's like putting on a double jumper. All right, it's lamb's wool, it's double lined, it feels quite heavy as well. So anybody out on the golf course wearing one of these, you're going to be pretty warm. All right, especially a jumper like this would be great on a cold but dry day, and then you've also got like a base layer underneath as well. This would keep you nice and warm. It's, as I said, it's like having a double layer. Also, wool wise, I've got here a Peter Scott, okay, made in Howick, Scotland. Sorry, Scottish viewers, is it Howick? I would say it is. I think I'm right there. 75% wool, 25% Angora. Okay, and it is a diamond patterned jumper. Okay, that just screams 1990s golf. And also on the sleeve, we have something that I know a little bit about because I played this course on quite a few occasions. Okay, it is probably the prime local course in South Wales. On the sleeve there, you've got the Celtic Manor. Okay, now, some people don't particularly like wearing stuff from other golf courses, but this golf course is a pretty special one. It did host the Ryder Cup in 2010, so it is quite a premium golf course. And, well, it's not just a course, it's a resort. There's 3 courses there. If you are a golfer and you ever get a chance to play, it is worth it. Okay, the Roman Road is a good course. The Montgomery, it's all right. It's a bit twisty and turny, and the 2010 is a great course as well. On the 2010, it is a championship course, and I don't think there's one place where the ground is level. you're always on the slope when you play a shot. So yeah, nice. Okay, 2 nice jumpers there. Did I say how much I paid for them? Oh, I keep forgetting that, don't I? I keep forgetting to tell you how much I paid for them. Right, the Marks and Spencer's lamb's wool was a £5. I'm going to put that on between 10 and 12. There'll be a bit of a markup there. And the Peter Scott lamb's wool one, £3.50. So again, probably about 12 quid. There's a bit of a markup there as well. Okay, good stuff. Take a look at the back catalogue of my channels. Below there is a link to my channel. Just have a look at it, okay? And you will see that I've just released a video from November where I take my camera or my phone camera into charity shops and just have a little film of what I'm actually getting and why I'm getting it, or also what I'm leaving on the shelves, which is just as important as buying what to leave behind. Now, there was one pair of trousers that I also did a piece about afterwards as well. I mentioned the fact that it's a good idea to go onto YouTube to look at other YouTubers to get ideas and education about the sort of things that sell well. Okay, now one of these YouTubers that I follow is a guy called Chaddy Pete, who, as I've learned so much from him, especially about branding, what brands to look out for. But he mentioned this brand, Bracer. Okay. You can see it there. This is a brand associated with walking, okay, and these are a really nice pair of sort of like dark beige zip off bracer walking trousers, so you can turn them into shorts as well. On one of the recent videos that I've seen with him, he came across a pair of these and he left them saying that there wasn't enough markup in it. He is looking for the premium stuff. So that's why it's important for you guys to have a look at a variety of channels, because really his channel is all about trying to make as much money from products as possible. So he's saying that a pair like this, no matter what they cost, he's not really going to get them, okay, because he's considering the amount of markup that he's going to make on them not to be what he wants. All right, now that's all well and good, but to me, a pair of trousers like this being sourced at £3.50, you're going to get profit on them, okay? You're going to get eyes on the shop, all right, and you're going to be able to grow your store. And that's why my videos are a little bit different, because I talk about also not just making money, but also how to grow your business as well. So it's no disrespect to Chaddy Pete at all, but I would have taken those bracer trousers, all right, and I've got a pair here. But yeah, really have a look. There's Chaddy Pete, have a look at that. There's a guy called Master of Pieces, he's a fellow South Walian as well. He does some really good videos on toys to get in charity shops, and some of the things that I've got, especially to do with the VTech brand, have sold quite well. There's also a guy called Rummage Around. I've watched him a few times. I've learned quite a lot about shoes from him, okay, and shoe brands that sell well. So it is really important that you don't just watch this video, okay, you watch other videos as well, all right? But in terms of watching this video, that's it for this week, okay? During the week I will release another video. I'm either going to do it about branding, the power of branding, or about listing. Haven't quite made up my mind yet, or it could be something totally different, but hopefully that will give you the impetus to, you know, subscribe to my channel, get the notifications through when another video is released, so that you can actually see then the subject that I decided to cover. All right, anyway, hope you're keeping well, all right, and speak to you soon. Thank you. This is Smithy out. Bye bye.